And everything that I need at this point in my life, he has all of that. I don't know what your goals are. I don't know what you want to do. But here's what I know. If you stay the course, if you feel that it's a calling on your life, you're going to have some tough times. You're going to go through some things. But I encourage you, don't give up. I encourage you to stay the course because it's real. All things do work together when you are in your calling. I was blessed with this book here, The Relationship Depot, with Reverend Jeremy Ahud. Where is he? Reverend Jeremy. Yeah, give him a round of applause. All right, yeah. I don't know what made him bring this book, but I sure need it now. Oh my God, I need this real bad. But I encourage you to get it. It's a book that I was back there reading in it, and it said, you are what you have committed yourself to. And I want you to think about your goal and dream, something that's important to you, something that gives your life a sense of value and importance and significance. My first major goal was to buy my mother a home, to take care of her. And most of you know my story. I was a foster kid, then Mama adopted us. I stand on this stage because of two women. One gave me life, the other one gave me love. God took me out of my biological mother's womb and placed me in the heart of my adopted mother. And as a kid, going to work with my mother who cleaned homes on Miami Beach for wealthy families, and you might have gathered I'm a mama's boy. I would say, Mama, what is it, Leslie, when I become a man, I'm gonna buy you a big, beautiful home just like this. And she would say, oh, Leslie, you don't have to do that. And I said, no, Mama, but you didn't have to take us in either. Mama, she only had a third grade education, but she had a PhD in motherhood. She had drive and determination, and I admired her. I gave, when Father's Day came around, I gave her a Father's Day card because she was Mama and Daddy all wrapped in one. And that became my first personal goal. And I remember shining the shoes of Mr. Swiderski. Mr. Swiderski was a very wealthy man. He said to his son, David, want to become successful? He said, watch wealthy people and do what they do. And watch poor people and don't do what they do. And so I watched him and studied him. And he listened to motivational messages all the time. Earl Nightingale, we become what we think about. I didn't exactly believe that at first because I thought about girls all the time. Oh, behave. Yeah. I have issues. Okay, so. And Zig Ziglar, if you give enough people what they want, they will give you what you want. Jim Rohn, when the end comes for you, let it find you conquering a new mountain, not sliding down an old one. As I was listening to these messages, unbeknownst to me, it was expanding my vision of myself. I want you to think about some goal that you have, some dream that brought you here. I don't know you, but here's what I know about you. You and I are cut from the same cloth. We're branches of the same tree. If you did not know in your heart of hearts that you could do what I've done plus more, you would not be here. You'd be home watching television or some happy hour somewhere else. But you're in this room, and I now know at this stage of my life, at 74, things don't just happen. They're things that happen that have value and for meaning if you're aware. And as a result of this point in my life and this email, all the thousands of emails on that day when I came in, and as I was saying to Ray today, which is Al's father and his mother that are here, I saw her. Give them a round of applause, please, and the whole staff. That night, I was thinking about my life and reflecting. I'd spent some time at the Cleveland Clinic. I'm a 27-year cancer conqueror because of God's grace and mercy. And that night, yes, I kept hearing them say that the medication they'd given me every 3 months, that it wasn't working anymore, and they were going to provide palliative care. And they were giving me something that they knew it would perhaps give me maybe 2 years. I said, what does palliative care mean? And so my friend who was a nurse, and she said, that means that it's going to make you comfortable. I said, make me comfortable? I'm going to fight for my life. I don't want to be comfortable. I need somebody on my team that will be ready to fight. I want to put up a fight. I'm not just going to leave here quietly. No, how many of you understand what I'm talking about? No. As you think about your goals and dreams, here's what I care about you. Hey, life is a fight for territory. If it's peace of mind, if it's your health, if it's your relationships, it's a fight for territory. And once you stop fighting for what you want, what you don't want will automatically take over. And so I want you to think about some personal goal. Mine was to buy my mother a home. I did that and took care of Mama until she made her transition at 89. What's some personal goal that you'd like to achieve? Mine have changed. Now, my kids, I'm a grandfather and I'm a great-grandfather. And so my goal is to help them to develop their skills and knowledge, and I train speakers to help them to become voices of hope. We learn, we earn, we pass it on. I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. And here's what I know about you, and I don't know you. That whatever brought you here, don't stop. You want to have as many experiences as you possibly can, because you want experiences that will reinforce your sense of self. I don't know you here, but I know about you. You have something special. You have greatness in you. You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. And I want you to be with that and marinate yourself in that, because we live in a world where we're told more about our limitations rather than our potential. And when you have goals and dreams, things are going to happen you can't imagine. I'll never forget, a doctor looked at me and said 27 years ago, you have cancer. 3 of the most feared words in 7 different languages. You have cancer. Can you give me a second opinion? Yes, and you're ugly too. Oh, behave, I'm sorry. I got problems. Okay. Tickle myself. So, and it's amazing. I start praying every night. I used to pray in bed. I start getting down on my knees. I was called on Jesus, Yahweh. I was reading the Bible, the Holy Quran, the Kabbalah. It's amazing how spiritual you become when you think you're about to leave here. I increased my tithes by 20%. Look here. I'll never forget. Oral Roberts had this promotion. Oral Roberts, when he was alive, he said, I have a special prayer cloth that will give you a healing. And so I'm listening. I was about to change the channel, and a guy came on. I had prostate cancer, and I bought the prayer cloth for $3, and I was healed in the name of Jesus. I said, ooh, okay. So I pulled over, I wrote the number down. I sent him $100. I said, send me the prayer box, a blanket. This is a true story. You can't make this stuff up. And they said, put the prayer cloth in the affected area. So I stuffed it in my underwear, So I'm in Detroit, Michigan, church pack. I had a PBS special called You Deserve. And so people were very glad to see me there. And I was up giving a presentation. When I speak at that time, I was moving. Yes, you got to go after your dream. You got to give it everything you have. And I saw people on this side looking behind me laughing. I'm saying, what are they laughing about? I looked around and the prayer cloth had come down my leg. And I had left a little trail. I said, you can laugh if you want to. I don't care how much you laugh. I feel like I'm healed. I got behind the podium and put it right back in. That was 27 years ago. I got some on now, right now. They fit well and depends. Anyhow, whatever. I'm turning red, but you can't see it. I promise to be good. I promise to be good. Okay. So things gonna happen to you in life. I'm telling you, if it hasn't, don't worry. Just keep on living. Forrest Gump knew what he was talking about. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. So mental resiliency is very important because you're gonna take some hits. And so working on yourself, particularly now, there's no such thing as job security. This is a time where the late Peter Drucker called there are the 3 C's: accelerated change, overwhelming complexity, and tremendous competition. So one of the things that I encourage people to do is have an ongoing process to work on yourself, because you're going to take some hits. And it's a part of this thing called life. In life, you're either in a problem or just left one or headed toward one. How many know that to be true? Raise your hands, please. And you will meet Murphy's Law. And if you don't know who he is, just don't worry. He's out in the parking lot waiting for you. I never forget when I, early on, was building my business, and I had this phone call. I'd been calling around to build my business, and I was sleeping on the floor of the Penobscot building in my office, bathing in this thing down the hall. In the good times, you put it in your pocket. The tough times, you put it in your heart. And I'd been calling a variety of companies, and I decided to call them back again. And this lady said, "You're not Les Brown, the motivational speaker." I said, "Yes." "No." I said, "I am." She said, "I played one of your cassette tapes for my son. And he came home, he pulled up his pants and stopped smoking weed. He had dropped out of school. He's back in school now. He's on the honor roll." She said, "I would love for you to come to our company." I said, "Is that right?" She said, "Yes. And bring a lot of your cassette tapes, because our people love good material, and I will recommend you personally. I'll come on stage and tell them." I said, "What do you think I should do in terms of product? What volume?" She said, "Well, it's going to be over 6,000, 7,000 people at our convention. If you get like $50,000 worth of products, that would be great." I didn't have that line of credit, so I called the guy who was duplicating my materials. I said, "Listen, Arnold, listen, man, I've got an opportunity to speak, and they told me I should get at least $50,000 worth of tapes." I said, "Man, I need your help." He said, "You don't have that line of credit." I said, "I know, but let me just get her on the phone." And so I called her back, and I said, "Can you hear her voice?" I had another line, and he said, "Yes." I said, "Tell him what you just told me. We're going to have about 6,000 to 7,000 people and Les Brown material. It changed my son's life, and I'm going to promote him personally on stage." I said, "Come on, oh ye a little faith, duplicate the tapes, man. I'm going to sell them all," and hung up. So he did. And she said she's going to send the contract out. Week came by, no contract. 2 weeks came by, no contracts. I didn't want to seem desperate. 3 weeks, I started getting nervous. So I called. I said, "Hello, yes. This is Les Brown calling in. May I speak to Evelyn, please?" He said, "Evelyn died." "She died? Did she say anything about me?" "No." "What are the arrangements?" They told me it was like that Friday Oh my God. So I was in Detroit. I flew to Chicago to make sure it was her because I saw a picture of her, and it was her. I said, oh my God, Evelyn, why now? So I was crying so hard, they sent me with the family. People probably thought I was the black sheep of the family. So back home, they delivered all those cassette tapes at the hotel. I mean, at the Penobscot building. I was trying to sell them in the airport. I was looking like a Mooney. Would you like to buy some cassette tapes? I never forget when I went back to my hotel room and my materials looking at me say, you got some motivation now, motivator? You got to be hungry, huh? That was an experience. I was saying, God, why would you let this happen to me? He said, yeah, why not you? Who would you suggest? Boy, it's called life, this thing called life. As you think about your goal and dream, let us say together, it's possible. Say it with conviction, it's possible. Let us say together, it's necessary. Yeah, you're going to go through some stuff, but you've got to decide that it's necessary, that you're going to live your dream in spite of the setbacks, in spite of the disappointments, in spite of people letting you down, in spite of things happening that you can't anticipate, in spite of running out of money, and in spite of people making promises, you can count on me, and they won't be there. It's a part of the process. Think it not strange that you face the fiery furnaces of this world. You will, not you might. You will have tribulations. It's a part of the process. Let us say together, I will grow through it and become better because of it. Yes, it's been said, in life you will always be faced with a series of God-ordained opportunities, brilliantly disguised as problems and challenges. So it's necessary that you have a perpetual sense of optimism, that no matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it. Even when you have no evidence to support that. That's why we're taught, judge not according to appearances. Because things can happen that you can't even begin to imagine when you're committed and you give your all. I believe this. All things work together for good for those who love God and called according to his purpose. That there's a calling on your life. There's something that you're supposed to do. And sometimes we have to experiment to find it. I didn't do what I'm doing for 14 years because I don't have a college education. Because I was labeled educable mentally retarded and put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade and failed again in the 8th grade. Because I didn't believe I could compete with people with PhDs and MBAs and years of experience in corporations that I didn't have. I remember seeing Tony Robbins in an infomercial, and I sent Gunther Rinker and those guys one of my best speeches. And they said, man, you're good and you're black. And I wrote him back and said, I never would have known that if you had told me. And he said, we just don't think a black guy would have appeal to the average American public. And they wouldn't take me on as a partner. And they established that, I had the complexion of rejection and Tony had the complexion of exception. Gave him a shot. All I wanted was a shot. And I'll never forget what my mentor said. He said, Brownie, he said, do what you do. Why are you here? What attracted you to this? I said, I want to change people's lives. Why, Brownie? Because someone changed mine. Good. He said, do what you do. Stay in your lane and do what you do. Master that. And trust me, the things that you don't have going for you, you're going to attract those things. You're going to attract the people, the resources, everything you need in order to make it. And there's some things that you hear that don't have value at that point in time, that as you continue to keep your commitment to your commitment, it begins to show up in your life. Have you seen that happen, please? I've never had, up to this point, as long as I've been in this business, anyone that has the skill set that Al has. Been doing this before he was born. Next year will be 50 years. And when I read now, your latter years will be better than your former years because of this collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships, because I kept a commitment through all the disappointments, through all the setbacks. I just kept holding on and kept falling forward. The things begin to happen. I can share this with you. It's going to happen for you. You're going to go through some stuff that you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. You're going to go through some stuff that you sometimes will feel powerless in the face of it, that you feel helpless, and it just doesn't look that there's any way that you can pull it off. But I can share with you, based upon what has happened to me, that don't give up. Hold on to your dream. Hold on. I remember when I was sleeping on the floor of the Penobscot building, and Larry DeAngie, he wrote a book called Soar with the Eagles, and my cousin Boo, who since made his transition, when the janitorial staff came in our office. I was on the 21st floor. 7 is my lucky number. I'm one of 7 children. My birthday is February 17th. And so we would hide in the closet from the janitorial staff. A new guy came on, and he heard a sound in the closet. Larry broke wind. I said, "God, Larry!" Guy opens the closet door. There we are in our underwear. I looked up. I said, "It's not what you think, big boy." This guy backed up. He cracked up. He said, "I'm not going to tell on you, I promise." He said, "I wonder what you're going to say." I said, "I know. I'm sorry, man. But you know you're not supposed to be up here." I said, "I know." I said, "No." I said, "I'm going through a tough time now." I said, "I know this is not an apartment, but just give me a shot. Don't tell on me this time." He said, "I won't." And he did not. And finally, management did call me in and said they didn't want me living in my office. And I said, "If you will help me, sir." I said, "You don't know me." I said, "I'm right there. I'm right there." I said, "You know," I said, "I promised my mother I would take care of her. She adopted us. And I just need a little help right now." Repeat after me, please. Ask for help. Not because you're weak, but because you want to remain strong. Ask for help, and don't stop until you get it. And this guy, he said, "Okay." He said, "All right, I will." I said, "If you give me 60 days, I said, I'll make enough money that I'll pay the rent here, and I can get some other offices." And he did. And I was asked to speak at a place called the Church of Today. Bless you. Jack Boland. I had presence of mind, don't I? Don't let this 74 fool you, baby. I spoke at a place called the Church of Today in Warren, Michigan. And when I spoke there, people came out in strong numbers and traffic backed up. And one night, a television reporter came and said, "Hey, who are you?" I said, "My name is Les Brown." And he did an interview with me because it was unusual, the number of people who came out. A guy named Michael King, who was in a hotel room, and he was inebriated, and he said when he heard me speak that all of a sudden it jolted him and he started listening. He called and asked at the church the other day, how can I get in touch with that guy? Then he called me in my office. He said, listen, I want to talk to you about doing a talk show like Larry King. What's his name? The guy who does those sleaze shows. I can't say. You know who I'm talking about, sensation. What's his name? Jerry Springer. We want you to be a black Jerry Springer. I said, I'm not your guy, and hung up. He called me back again. He said, okay. He said, I'll be interested in what it is you're interested in. He said, but I'm going to send you something and you're not going to hang up on me. You're going to call me back. So, okay, thank you very much. I hung up. Then I got a call in my office. Sue Burkhardt was down at the other end of the office. And she said, you won't believe this. I said, Sue, why are you calling me on the phone? We're right in the office. She said, I was so nervous, I couldn't believe it. I just opened up the mail. I said, well, come on down. Why are you nervous? She said, look at this. And it was a check that this guy, Michael King, I had no idea, it was King World, check for $1.2 million with my name on it. I said, this can't be real. I called him back and said, hello, may I speak to Mr. King, please? Let me tell you. Oh my God. He said, I told you were going to call me. I said, I know. Things are going to happen for you that you cannot anticipate. Eye has not seen, ear has not heard, nor has entered the heart of mankind. When you keep your commitment to your commitment on your dream, because that's been given to you. And there are many times that a dream will test you. How badly do you want it? That's going to happen to you. And so as you look at yourself and look at your goals and dreams, let us say together, it's possible. It's necessary. I let some people go. See, a lot of people don't ever live up to their true potential and never access their greatness because you can't soar like an eagle if you're surrounded with pigeons. There's some people you got to let go. That takes courage. There's a reason we're taught to be of good courage. It takes courage. Let us say together, let go or be dragged. There's some people that will compromise your energy, that they don't have the vision that you have and the dream that you have. Les, can I change them? No. It's a full-time job changing yourself. And there's some people so negative, they can walk into a dark room and begin to develop. Oh, behave, whatever. The millennials, they don't know about that, all right? Yeah, they're nourishing relationships and they're toxic relationships. Nourishing relationships, they bring the best out of you. They challenge you. That's my relationship with Al. I feel younger because I'm in his energy and his vision, and he moves quickly. He's making things happen. And he sees the possibilities in me. I don't look like an old man to him. He can see that I still got the juice. Can you tell I got the juice up in here, all right? And so you need people who can see your stuff, who get you, who know you. And so, won't you write this down? Upgrade your relationships. Jim Rohn said this, look at your relationships and ask the question, what is this relationship doing to me? Am I growing mentally and emotionally and spiritually? What is it doing to me? Am I becoming a better person? You have a 41% greater chance of reaching your goals when you have accountability partners. You want to create, as you look at your goals and dreams, a strategy for working on your mindset. Because you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. People don't live life as it is, they live life as they are. No one could have told me, given my circumstances, if my birth parents stood up and said, hello, son, I would not know either one. No one could have told me, being labeled educable, mentally retarded, and failing twice in school, that in an hour and a half, I could earn over $450,000 in an hour and a half. And I don't say that to impress you, but to impress upon you of what your potential is. You've got some stuff in you that you don't even know right now. And the reason you showed up here, it's only for me to confirm and to validate that which is already in you. If you didn't know in your heart of hearts what I'm saying is true, you wouldn't be here. You'd have left already. I'm an assassin. I'll kill every demon in you, every mediocre demon. Trust me on this. You better run while you can. This is no time to be average. The reason you showed up because you know you've got greatness in you. Let us say together, I've got greatness in me. And it's my time to express that greatness. Shake someone's hand on your right and left and say, I'm ready to bring it out. Do that right now. Shake somebody's hand on your right and left and say, I'm ready to bring it out. Here's your homework. Get a 3x5 card. And write on one side, I give thanks. Like on my card, I give thanks. I'm healed of cancer. I give thanks. I read that a minimum of 3 times a day. On the flip side, I read Matthew 7:7. Ask and it shall be given. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be open. For everyone that asketh, receive it. He that seeketh, find it. To him that knocketh, it shall be open. I read that a minimum of 3 times a day. Why? Been 27 years, hasn't happened yet. When will a baby walk? It will walk when it walks. Some walk sooner than others. When will it talk? It will talk when it talks. When will you be healed? You will be healed when you are healed. So don't give up. It's what Og Mandino said. He said, persist until you succeed. And I'm learning some things. There's some things that I used to be concerned about, I'm not concerned about anymore. When someone looks at you and say you have cancer, there are things that you used to worry about, not of anymore. I screen various phone calls. I don't take everybody's call. Why? I don't have the mental bandwidth for it. I have a criteria before I take a phone call. This is worth writing down. Number 1, is it positive? If it's not positive, I'm not taking it. 2, is it productive? Is this the best use of my time? 3, is it purposeful? Is it in alignment with the direction in which I'm going in? And 4, is there some benefit for both of us in it? I don't have time to waste. Am I making sense to you on this? Yes, and so one of the things I encourage you, the guy asked me, if you had to talk to the 30-year-old Les Brown, what would you say to him? I would say to him, take a chance on yourself. For 14 years, I didn't take a chance on me. I believe what was said to me. Mama said sticks and stones can break your bones, but words can never hurt you. How many of you know words can really hurt and very deep? Am I correct on that? All right? And so we're taught, be ye not conformed to this world. And so in the environment where I was, I remember one of the worst moments of my life. I was 5 years old, went downtown with Mama, and I saw this water fountain. I let her hand go, and I ran up and started drinking from this water fountain, Miami, Florida, 95 degrees. Mama grabbed me by the neck and started beating me, punching me in the face and the head. I'm like, Mama, please. Mama, it's me, with a crazed look in her eyes. And I had no idea. Why would you do that? Please, Mama. And then this white police officer came up and he was hitting his nightstick in his hand. Okay. You beat that little nigger boy enough. That's okay now. He's learned his lesson. Now, I won't have to beat him. Mama said, thank you, officer, thank you. As he walked away laughing. And I said, Mama, why you beat me like that? She said, Leslie, you could never drink from that kind of water fountain. It's for whites only. Had he hit you with his nightstick, Leslie, he would have had to kill me. And I'd left you and your brothers and sisters to fend for yourself. I had to make a quick decision. It was hard. I'm so sorry. I said, Mama, it's okay. It's okay. Let us say together, defining moments. How many of you ever had a defining moment in your life? Raise your hands. That was a defining moment for me. And I remember as we were going back on the bus on Miami Beach, I'm like 5 years old, and I couldn't understand why could I not drink from that fountain? There's only one kind of fountain I can drink from. And here's what I know, that in life, you're going to encounter some things. And you can allow that to define you, or you define yourself. I was talking to a lady in the audience, and she was working for this company. And they told her she'd been training managers and helping to develop their managers and teaching them the leadership skills that would help them to become successful. And she said, I want to be a manager. And they said, you can't do that. And so Stephanie Blake quit. Where are you, Stephanie? Give her a round of applause. Yeah. So Stephanie quit. And she decided that she was not going to allow them to define her future and who she was going to become. So now Stephanie, she speaks. And on her card, she said, we help you live the life you've worked for. That she'd worked for helping people to develop their leadership and managerial skills. And even though where she was, they said, you can't do that. We don't have women managers. She decided to create her own path. As you look at yourself and look at your goals, Helen Keller said that in life, that when one door closes, another door opens. But most of us spend so much time looking at and talking about the closed door, we don't see the open door. I like something that Marion White said. He said, in life, when you don't have enough courage or insight to know that you have outgrown a situation and it's time to move on, life will move on you. And so stuff's going to happen, but you have the power, just as Stephanie, to decide that's not going to define you. You have the power. You can become bitter, you can become better. And so I realized that in order for me to make it, I had to become better. And I started programming myself, listening to motivational messages, reading 30 to 40 pages of something positive every day for my mindset. And I encourage you to do that. Why? Because you can take some hits. Things are going to happen. People are being replaced on jobs at an accelerated rate with artificial intelligence and robots and in a global economy. And so this is a time that you have to reinvent yourself and look for ways in which you can better your best. Today, you either expand or you are expendable. Let us say together, I'm expanding my vision of myself. I still have the juice. I can do more. There is more in me. The best is yet to come. So let us say together, it's possible. I can live my dream. It's necessary. My dream is necessary of being debt-free, drama-free, stress-free, and happy. And it's me. See, George Washington Carver, I like this quote. He said, do what you can where you are with what you have and never be satisfied. George Bernard Shaw said, the people that make in this life, they look around for the circumstances that they want, and if they can't find them, they create them. And so this is a time that is the most incredible time in history, that we have everything we need to live our dreams. Everything you need. You can learn whatever it is that you desire to do. And with collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships, and the drive, the hunger that you're going to make it happen, and not giving up, because, and I can share with you based upon what I know, you will fail your way to success. You're going to fail your way to success. And 86% of people allow the fear of failure to outweigh their desire to succeed. You're going to fail your way to success. And when you're willing to come back again and again, it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down. What matters is how many times you get back up. You say, that's all you got? And I can tell you that I remember going through divorce from someone that I loved very much. And my best friend, Boo, died waiting on a liver transplant. And my mother died. And I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. It was a tough time. And I popped. I took some hits. I was knocked senseless. I've seen fights where a referee would step in and stop it because they can tell the guy didn't have enough to continue. He couldn't even raise his hands to defend himself. How many of you ever seen that before? And that's where I was. I took those hits. And I learned something through all of that. That the key when that happens is continue to affirm to yourself, no matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. I kept saying to myself, had nothing to point to, had no evidence that I could build a case for my ability to recover from what I was going through. My mother. I'd never seen anyone die before. My mama took her last breath. I remember saying, Mama, I'm gonna make you proud. I'll make you proud that you chose us. I'm gonna make you proud. And I remember before she had lost consciousness, she said, you're gonna be all right, Leslie. You're gonna be all right. And that stayed with me. And I ask now, at this stage of my life, I want people to know, I believe that there's a calling on all of our lives, that we were created on purpose, with a purpose. Some people find out right away. Others experiment like I did. I used to be a disc jockey, a state legislator, a community activist, a photographer. I used to book concerts. I did a variety of things, just trying to find my place. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Just trying to find something that resonated with me. My granddaughter, she's working as a security officer at this place, and she said, Grandpa, I gotta leave here. I said, why? She said, this is not me. I'm supposed to be designing clothes for people. That's what I'm supposed to do. Walking around a parking lot or riding on this little cart to make sure somebody's not stealing a car. This is not me. It's about to drive me crazy. I said, baby, I said, a friend of mine named Darren, and he's written a book called The Misplaced Life. I said, you're living a misplaced life. And there is a place for you that resonates with you. You're just not there now, but you have to do what you need to do in order for you to get to that place. She said, okay, Grandpa. I said, in order to get that, baby, you got to be hungry. Why do you keep on saying that? People that are hungry are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. People that are hungry go all out. People that are hungry don't need an alarm clock to get up in the morning. People that are hungry, they use their time wisely to learn all that they can. People that are hungry know that average is over. Whatever you do, you've got to master it. You've got to make yourself stand out. She said, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. I said, good. She said, can you send me somebody to be tired? I said, I knew that was coming. Let us say together, it's me. Let us say together, it's hard. So he said, Mr. Brown, I've done all that I can do for you. You've got to go out and face the music. You go with the things I've taught you and make it happen. I went to WMBM radio station on Miami Beach. Milton Butterball Smith was the program director. Hello, Mr. Butterball. My name is Les Brown, sir. I'd like to be a disc jockey. He said, young man, you have any journalism in your background? No, sir, I don't. You have any experience in broadcasting? No, sir, I don't, but I practice every day. Let me audition for you. Let me show you how good I am. He says, no, we don't have any job for you. How many have been rejected? Raise your hands, please. I was devastated with rejection. I went back, Mr. Washington. I said, Mr. Washington. They said, no. He said, don't take it personally. Most people are so negative, they have to say no 7 times before they say yes. He said, you got to be hungry. Go back again. I said, yes, sir. I went back again. Hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you, sir? My name is Les Brown, sir. I'd like to be a disc jockey. He said, I know what your name is. Weren't you here yesterday? Yes, sir. Didn't I tell you no yesterday? Yes, sir. He said, then why are you back today? I said, well, sir, I didn't know whether or not somebody was laid off or somebody was fired, sir. No one was laid off or fired. Now get on out of here. I came back the next day, talking loud, looking happy, like I was singing for the first time. I said, hello, Mr. Butterball. How are you? My name is Les Brown, sir. I'd like to be a disc jockey. He said, I know what your name is. Weren't you here the last 2 days? I said, yes, sir. Didn't I tell you no the last 2 days? I said, yes, sir. He said, then why are you back today? I said, sir, I didn't know whether or not someone got sick or someone died, sir. He said, no one got sick or died. No one was laid off or fired. Now don't you come back here again. I came back the next day, talking loud, looking happy, like I was singing for the first time. I said, hello, Mr. Butterball. Rage. He said, go get me some coffee. I said, yes, sir. My favorite book said, the greatest among you will be your servant. So I became the errand boy for the disc jockeys. I was serving them. I'd go get their lunch and their dinner, and I'd come into the control room, watch them working the control room knobs and switches, knowing my time will come. Let us say together, my time will come, when I'll be a top producer, and when I'll come up on stage, they call my name because of my accomplishment. My time will come because I'm going to put forth the effort. And so on the weekends when the disc jockeys would come out to the parking lot, the cars would be clean inside out. They said, hey, who did this? I did, sir. How much do you charge, young man? Oh, nothing, sir. I just wanted to help out. Write this down. Build relationships. Build relationships. Give before you ask people to come into your business. Find some way to compliment them. Talk to them, ask them questions. Find out what's important to them, what's stressing them out, what keeps them up at night, what drives them, what they value. Don't advance with the business. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. That's why you want to tell the story and ask key questions. You want to be strategic and experiential. Write this out. You have an energy signature. People are feeling you out. They're listening to you. They're watching you. And so, he said, look, here are my car keys, young man. Down in Ross and the Supremes are coming in town, the Four Tops and the Temptations. I want you to pick him up at the airport and take him to the Fontainebleau Hotel on Miami Beach. It is my pleasure to serve you, sir. I would drive these entertainers all over Miami Beach in the disc jockeys' big long Cadillacs. I didn't have any driver's license, but I'll drive it like I had some. Then one day, it's a Saturday afternoon, a disc jockey by the name of Rockin' Roger was drinking while he was on the air. Rockin' Roger got so drunk, he could not complete the show. He began to slur his words. He's about to fall off the chair. It's a Saturday afternoon, and I was the only one there, looking at him through the control room window, walking back and forth, young, ready, and hungry. I was saying, drink, rock, drink. Drink, rock. I'd have gone and get him some more if he'd asked me to. Then pretty soon the phone rang. It was a general manager. I said, hello? He said, young boy, this is Mr. Clyde. I said, I know. He said, Rock can't finish the program. I said, I know. He said, will you call one of the other DJs in? I said, yes, sir. I hung the phone up and said, now he must think I'm crazy. I called my mama and my girlfriend, Cassandra. I said, y'all come out on the front porch, turn up the radio. I'm about to come on the air. I waited for about 20 minutes and I called him back. I said, Mr. Klein, I can't find nobody. He said, young boy, you know how to work the controls? I said, yes, sir. He said, go in there and segue the records, but don't you say nothing here. I said, yes, sir. I couldn't wait to get old Rock out of the way. I put on a fast record. I said, look out, this is me, LB, Triple P. Les Brown, your platter playing papa. There were none before me, and there will be none after me. Therefore, that makes me the one and only. Young and single and love to mingle. Certified, bona fide, duly qualified to bring you satisfaction and a whole lot of action. Look out, baby, I'm your love man. I was hungry. Give the old man a round of applause. I was hungry. I was hungry. I was hungry. You gotta be hungry. Shake someone's hand on your right and left and say, you gotta be hungry. Do that right now. Shake somebody else's hand. Say, you gotta be hungry.